Hey everyone, Artster here, and as a long-time Duel Masters player, I've wanted to do something like this for a while now on my channel, or at least something related to Duel Masters on my really small art channel. But yeah, so today I want to be going over a really simple and very easy to achieve win condition for a very cool deck. This is what I like to call the Gale Vesper pseudo loop, because it isn't exactly a loop, but it might as well be a loop. So first off, from this position of the game state, I'm just going to pay 2 mana to play Gale Vesper. Gale Vesper, for those of you who don't know, is a 10 mana creature with 12,000 power, is a Grand Sect, and has double sympathy, meaning its cost can be reduced by 2 for each creature with 12,000 power or more in the battle zone that you control. As Triple Breaker, and when it and while it's in the battle zone, all creatures with 12,000 power, all creatures in your hand gain double sympathy creatures 12,000 power or more, meaning they all gain his cost reduction effect. So because we have 4 creatures in the battle zone, I will need to pay 2 as opposed to his normal 10. So I play him, and then using his effect, we can now play Sieg Nachtfalter for only 1 mana, because this is equivalent of 10 mana, thanks to Vesper's effect. Once Nachtfalter hits the field, it's essentially game over, and I'll explain to you why. So first, you mana boost by 2. You can choose 1 card in your mana zone and return it to your hand. In this case, I'll return Wedding. Then, because I already have 6 creatures, I'll need to pay 1 to play Wedding. Then, Nachtfalter's effect triggers. I can boost by 2, and I can turn 1 card into my hand. In this case, I'm going to return Kiramaru, Great Miracle. Kiramaru, because he has 12,000 power or more, triggers Nachtfalter's effect once more. And then I can return 1 creature. I return another copy of Gale Vesper. Yeah, so this is all because of Nachtfalter. Nachtfalter triggers whenever himself or another creature with 12,000 power or more enters the battle zone, you can boost your mana by 2 and then return 1 creature into your hand. By doing so, because usually with Gale Vesper decks, we only run mono nature, you can keep going on and recovering more and more creatures. And because of Gale Vesper's effect, the sympathy effect, you just keep mana boosting and recovering. So you keep digging for your win condition. Now, obviously, I didn't activate Kiramaru's effects here, but if I had, so let's say in the middle of all of this, I activated Kiramaru's effect. Kiramaru's effect triggers. I play Gachinko Judge, and I get Zenith Requiem. Zenith Requiem, because of Kiramaru's effect, is played, and I give World Breaker to Wedding. Wedding then attacks with World Breaker, and because of her own effect, it burns all the opponent's shields, and you can then swing for game with Kiramaru because everybody has speed attacker. This pseudo loop lets you dig through your entire deck for pieces which you may only run 1 or 2 copies for. So in my scenario, I only run 1 copy of Kiramaru and 2 copies of Wedding, as well as 2 copies of Zenith Requiem. But the fact that it gives you access to such powerful combos and for so cheap, for example, after Nachtfalter into say you have Nachtfalter in the battle zone. You have Nachtfalter and Vesper in the battle zone, and you have Zenith Requiem in your hand. You play Kiramaru. Then Nachtfalter triggers upon the playing of Kiramaru, used by 2. Then you retrieve 1. I'm going to retrieve Wedding. Then Kiramaru triggers, Gachinko Judge. Let's say just for the sake of argument, let's say I lose all 3. I can then pay 1 mana for Wedding, because assuming I already have a Master Field, this is just for demonstration purposes, but assuming I already have a Master Field, I play Wedding. Wedding burns their hand and their field into their shields. Because Wedding is a speed attacker, because of Kiramaru, Wedding attacks. An attack chance, Zenith Requiem. I burn all of their shields. And because of that, because everybody has speed attacker, you can swing for the game of either Gale Vesper, Nachtfalter, or Kiramaru himself. Obviously that isn't the only things to dig out from Gale Vesper and Sieg Nachtfalter. Because of Nachtfalter's effect, you can very easily use him in a Shakugaru deck. With Shakugaru requiring you to deck out in order to win. And obviously this guy, he just keeps boosting by 2 and by 2, and you get the idea. Furthermore, his effect also stacks, so if you have 2, you boost by 4, you have 3, you boost by 6, and so on and so forth. So this isn't the only things to dig out of the Nachtfalter and Vesper loop, but it's probably one of the better things to dig out, because this provides a very strong out to a currently very strong deck in the meta, which is to say 5C control. One of the main strengths of 5C control, okay, this is a bit of a jank 5C list, but one of the main strengths of 5C control is having access to really strong shield triggers like Soryu no Daichi or Blue Dragon's Earth, Jack Alcadeus, Scrapper Spiral Spark, and Don Volcanic Now. These 4 shield triggers are all very good in their own respective ways. But the thing is, because the Gale Vesper loop can very easily start from turn 4, before most of these decks have time to really start doing their thing, you can very easily burn them with all these triggers by turn 5. I've done it once on turn 4, and there's really just nothing they can do, because their hand is gone, so they can't use Revolution trigger zeros like Bullshit the Gargon or Miracle Miradante. They no longer have access to shield triggers because Wedding burns their shields as opposed to just breaking them. And generally, and because of the way the deck works, especially because it's Vesper, they won't be able to do anything even if they do have hand cards remaining because of Deathmatch Beetle, which stops Ninja Strike, it stops Bulldogi, it stops Miracle Miradante, it stops anything that can maybe save them. So yeah, pretty scary if you ask me. It's not as strong of a deck as it once was, because I mean, no, it hasn't been seeing any tops anywhere, but I think it's still strong enough of a deck to warrant a short video on it like this. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys if I ever decide to do something like this again. Bye bye.